is it me, or like does an orgasm do a lot for like somebody who's like dysregulated? So much gaslighting. You start to question, at least me, I started to question, like, am I making this up? Like, am I tripping? Readers, chat, visual enjoyers. She absolutely was not making it up. In fact, she had not even touched the tip of the iceberg yet. And wow. Hi. Yes, hello. It's me again. Super Skino. So, I'm vlogging a couple days because the last several days have been kind of nuts, whole week. But happy Friday to you. To you. So I'm about to get ready to go do a little bit of Uber Eats. I just dropped my dog off to get a grooming session because I've been telling myself for a week and a half that I was gonna give her a bath. So I'm like, after I walk today, there's like a, what you call it? Like a dog park, bakery, grooming session place. They do all of that. Daycare, doggy daycare type vibe by the place we usually be working out. So I took her over there today and it was like, yeah, we could do the full bath for you. And I'm like, all right, bet. So now I know, they said it was $45. So now I know what my Uber Eats goal is for today. I want to make $45 to net zero the cost of my dog grooming, because then it removes the thing from my noggin. And wow, this is what the rest and reset process is all about. Look at that. I just took the lowest order I ever took before, and it was only $2, but it was only a mile and a half and 6 minutes. So I guess it wasn't utterly terrible, but wow, $2. That's so rude, Uber. Since I have been like only picking ones that is worth my time, now, you know, I'm gamifying my metrics, right? Now that I haven't been picking enough of them, my acceptance rate dropped under the threshold. So now I'm on track to like hit the right rate for my cancellation rate, but the acceptance rate is too low. So I just gotta take pretty much whatever until I get my rate back up, because I'm trying to get to the next tier. Hi. Okay, so I only did 2 deliveries, and then I had got a notification that I had like a payment coming to me for something else that I'll be doing sometimes for like $39. So like with the 2 deliveries I did plus my $39 just like about to hit my account, I made my $45 for today. Needless to say, I obviously decided I wasn't in the mood. My eyes are really itchy. Funny enough, I started another antihistamine. Shout out to my neurodivergent gang. I had got a bunch of recommendations about different things, because apparently it's an ADHD thing to have like issues with histamine and inflammation as well. Surprise! I mean, I guess one of the things that I'm still sorting out about ADHD as well as autism, and that's really honestly still kind of throwing me for a loop, because there is no answer. Like, there's no cure. It's not a mental illness. It's not a mental illness. It's a neurological disorder. That's why it's genetic. So it's just like, also too, I felt like, now that I know a little bit better, I feel like that when I tried therapy and stuff, that's why it didn't click for me, because like many of us, there are misdiagnosed assumptions like depression primarily, and like the techniques and things and coping and tools and things that was given to me never worked. In fact, oftentimes they pissed me off. And now I know, because you know, you can't treat a neurological disorder as if it's a mental illness. 2 different kind of problems, 2 different types of solutions. Nevertheless, my eyes are really itchy. It's very beautiful today. I've been seeing everybody post about how it's really cold and really snowy and all these other things. Where they at? It's giving Florida. It's giving Sunshine State. But I realized like the midday sun, something about that really kicks off the whole eye, nose, face thing. And I started to pick that up a little while ago, and it seems to be somewhat consistent. So anyway, I took the second antihistamine I was recommended, Pepsid AC. I tried it yesterday, and honestly I did feel like I felt something different. So I've been taking Allegra. That one works enough for me where it don't make me feel too crazy or too weird. So I just tried the Pepsid yesterday in addition to the Allegra. Yesterday was relatively smooth as far as like allergy stuff. I felt like I was breathing more clearly. My scalp and my eyes be itching so bad. Yesterday the scalp calmed. Like I felt my scalp itchy. I took the Pepsid, and within like 2 hours I felt like the scalp calmed down. Like I was like, okay, all right, might just do something. And then the night before that, I had been reading up on how like magnesium and zinc supplements and stuff help for you for sleeping. because my sleeping schedule, like I don't have a schedule, like, and I don't really have a real circadian rhythm, a real pattern. It's giving ADHD. I just sleep sometimes I don't. So I had said to my husband the other day, like I was feeling lethargic, so he gave me this magnesium and zinc tablet to take the night before last, and honestly I slept much more decent than not. Like, it wasn't so hard to go to sleep, and it wasn't as difficult to get up when I was ready to as well. Like, I feel like since I've been in my rest phase and I've been more intentional about like napping and stuff, it feels like it's harder to go down, but I also feel like it's harder to get up, whereas before I feel like it would be hard to go down, but I would just get up all the time. So also I think it's, now that I say that out loud, I think it's probably still the same. I just maybe just been feeling tired. So apparently PMDD is a thing. I don't know if that's like an official diagnosis for me. However, the symptoms are tracking. I've mentioned before, I have a lot of skepticism in the medical, like in regards to my medical experiences. So I've decided what my methods are at this point in time is I'm gonna like come up with ideas, and then when I feel like it's a thing, I'm gonna go to a clinical professional and say, rule this out. Because it seems like that works better than me going, hi, I'm having an issue, what's wrong with me? And that doesn't work. So anywho, I was told to like try the Pepsi for that, and I realized like, okay, it helped my scalp calm down, my gut don't feel as angry at me as it usually do. Apparently the gut thing is an ADHD thing too. It's just like, well, it's too much. It's a lot. Like, apparently there are a lot of these comorbidities, because when you have an issue with your neurological system, it causes other issues. Surprise. Anywho, like all these random things that I kept being told was different things, and I'm just like, no, doesn't fit. I was right. Turns out I was right. And so now what I'm like doing is like just kind of keeping track of all these different things I have been ignoring. Like I mentioned how I have been ignoring the inflammation and irritation in my face as an ailment too much from, you know, seasonal allergies and all these other different environmental things that were inflaming me that I was ignoring because I was focused on other things, right? Since we're not ignoring things anymore, I've been very intentional about paying attention to every little thing, but also reporting it to the archival document keeper of the family, aka my spouse. I'll be like, yeah, I'm about to do this thing, because my short-term memory is but my long-term memory is strong. So I'll be relying on him for short-term stuff sometimes if I don't like document it physically right away. So apparently he's noticed a pattern, and he's like, yeah, I think you might want to. I started telling him how I was looking into the PMDD thing, and he was like, there might be something to that. And I was like, because the other day I just felt so like weepy. Like I woke up and it was a normal day, it was fine, everything's good. He woke up, he's like, hey babe, how you doing, how you feeling this morning? And for whatever reason, how you feeling this morning, I started talking for 20 minutes and started crying. And I'm just like, why am I crying right now? I don't even feel sad. Like yo, mid-30s as a woman is out of control. Hormones are ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I've been like keeping like an eye on that thing. So in the neurodivergent community, because I've been expressing these things to them, shout out to y'all gang cousins, like live and live in color, as I'm like experiencing. I'm like live vlogging, live tweeting, like tweeting, but live threading them. There you go, live threading them. So like oftentimes I get like recommendations, feedback, but also just reassurance, like, yeah, no, this is the thing, like I've experienced this, I've experienced that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, they're so amazing, love y'all bad. But somebody, like a handful of people, and then I had seen it before, recommended Pepsi. So I gave that a try yesterday, and I think it might have worked. So this morning, when I got up, washed my face, brushed my teeth, I ate the Allegra as well as the Pepsi. But then it's like 1 p.m. and I just realized, my stomach feels a little weird. And then I remember I didn't eat anything. And I think you're supposed to take the Pepsi with food. I don't remember. That's why I don't like medication. It's too many rules. Eat it with this food. Eat it with that food. Don't drink this. Don't drink that. Take it at this time. Take it at that time. Don't forget. Like, it's just... I have ADHD. Like, there's too many things to keep up with. That's one of the main reasons why, frankly, I hadn't stayed on top of my histamine medication for so long, because it just felt like too much of a mental task. Okay, the last time I was bothered to be on top of my medication that I was prescribed very rigidly was when I was pregnant with my son almost 6 years ago. And even with that, I feel like the outcome wasn't what I had hoped for or expected. So, and I still had to be advocating for myself, like change this, change that. And then still, I feel like a lot of the things I experienced was correlated to that medication. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. So now that I'm finding things that are actually giving me like some type of relief, I'm like, okay, it's not the pharmaceuticals. It's not strictly the medicine in the medical industry. It's all of the above. The gaslighting that comes when you look like me. Like, I remember I facilitated a conversation at some point in time, and a lot of women chimed in and talked about how starkly different they're treated when their husband is in the room versus when they're not. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, wow, I'm not tripping. There's so much gaslighting and things like that for Black women in the American medical system. So like a lot of things that now I'm just even by other Black women, by the way. So now I'm taking up on myself to like try and rule out different things and come up with an idea and then go to a clinical professional and say, deny this, not even confirm it, rule it out, like, because they can do that better than they can confirm things. Anywho, so I'm on a quest now to try to figure out if I need to go get assessed for PMDD. If I do, what does that look like? Like, in my mind, I feel like they would probably just like try to put you on like an antidepressant or something. I don't know that. But what I do know is I saw some people say like perimenopause, you know, and I'm at that age too, so it could be that, could be all these, like, you know, I'm just kind of paying attention to things I never paid attention to, or this type of attention to before. So it's speculative. We're still speculating. But my gang recommended Pepsi. I ate the Pepsi yesterday. I felt a little better, and I thought that was interesting because I've been struggling with my diet too. That's one of the things I'm finna wipe my diet. I know a lot of it is coming back stateside. The food here is food product more than actually food. So I have to be a lot more attentive about what I'm actually consuming or not consuming. But also, I've come to realize a lot of things I've been consuming all my life, I'm actually allergic to, and I didn't have enough of an allergy reaction for me to kind of put that together, and I think I'm slowly starting to piece that together. For example, a couple years ago I figured out I'm allergic to pineapple. Several years ago I was suddenly allergic to watermelon. So just like stuff like that. But I be eating pineapple anyway. It's just that I know I'm itch and cough a little bit type of thing, you know what I mean? So I'm starting to understand, like, this is an allergen, yes, awareness. This is an allergen, yes, but tolerable, right? Like that type of stuff. Anyway, I have heard that the histamine thing and the ADHD thing and the autism thing is highly correlated. So if you have any issues with the overlaps, you might want to take a look at that for your own whatevers. So for today's Uber Eats, we made, I think, like $7. I ain't even gonna pull it up because it wasn't even much. I only accepted 2 offers because I thought they were very low. Then I realized, not in the mood for this. It's not enough money to get me excited or to gamify it for today. And then my eyes started itching. So that's Uber Eats for today. Masking is, we're figuring out what's happening hormonally right now, because I'm approaching, well, I'm in my mid-30s, but I'm starting to approach like the hard, you know, like getting up through there. So I'm just like, is this hormonal? And the answer is yes. Like the answer is absolutely. So that's a thing. And then today's query that I left the chat with last before I decided to come outside and vlog a little bit and run errands and do things is like, is it me, or like does an orgasm do a lot for like somebody who's like dysregulated with that regard? Because the last I checked my community, like, yeah. But from what I could tell, it feels like it does help kind of woo me out, wave me out a little bit better. So that's a thing, because again, I'm being attentive, calls and response, and I'm also giving you guys live feedback and updates. So in case you can assess, if you're interested in assessing for yourself, but also for like journal consistency. One of the things that I've really come to terms with since I've started like recording and documenting myself in this way is I really wish I would have did it sooner. There was so many things that happened 5 to 10 years before I started like vlogging and stuff like this that I really, really wish I would have documented, because a lot of it was fucked up. But also it was things where I needed to be able to reflect on it and remind myself, yes, that was real. I did not make that up. These are, you know, these types of things. And that's a lot of the joy and pleasure I've been getting from not only watching back this vlog from the last several years, but also like the engagement I get in the community that has helped me to validate a lot of my experiences, like, oh, that wasn't made up in my head, like this is a thing, it happens. And like I said, when you have had to navigate so much gaslighting, you start to question, at least me, I started to question, like, am I making this up? Like, am I tripping? Readers, chat, visual enjoyers, she absolutely was not making it up. In fact, she had not even touched the tip of the iceberg yet, and wow. Anyway, I had brought me a little bit of coconut water out today. I miss real coconut water, you know, the kind where they shave the coconut and bust it open and give me a straw right in front of my face. But you know, I had some packaged coconut water I put in my cup, and now that it's empty, we gotta go get some real food. And one of the things that I'm starting to pay attention to as well is how, like, being intimate or not intimate helps ebb and flow with that. Like, you know, the thing with ADHD and overstimulation and stuff like that, it could kill your libido, not because you're not interested in your partner or any of those things like that, just because me, if I'm not thinking about it, it don't exist. Like, that's literally how my mind functions. If it's not in my face or on my mind, it do not exist. So like, when I'm now that I'm transitioning into resting and stuff like that, I'm being a lot more intentional about a lot of different things. And I'm kind of low-key obsessed with my husband again. I might link the article in the description box, or maybe I'll come back and read it for y'all. But I wrote an article on my Substack, an essay on my Substack a few weeks ago called A Fear of Love. And I talk about the concept of how the fear of love shows up throughout my marriage and my relationship, and how, you know, my husband's one of those, like, strong silent types. Like, I be hanging on to every word he say because he don't say too many words. And when he say them, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I need to sit with that. And he said something to me a couple months ago, and I just, wow. Anyway, at least twice a year, I feel like, ew, I am so in love. This is weird. This is risky. And I think I entered into one of those seasons recently because our schedule and our structure at home has recently changed. So we've been a lot more intentional about our, you know, like, us time and stuff. So now I'm just like, no, don't leave me whenever he got something to do. Because one thing I'm going to do is make it drama. Drama. But yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun and it's so funny. But yeah. Anyway, this is gonna be completely no edit. I'm just gonna leave all this in here, all of it. Until next time, my friends, practice self-care. I don't even know if I made a cohesive sentence or a cohesive thought. I just think I just tried to explore like 4 or 5 different topics at once because I didn't eat yet. My face is a little bit overstimulated right now. ADHD and all of the things. Practice self-care, listen to Your Needs Daily. It's been Empress Kino with the Uber Eats and UnMasking series. Mask off.